anyway. So do you guys have anything that you want to say about any of this stuff? I throw this out.
I would like to throw something out on the first 3 chapters about dealing with difficult people, no one's coming to classes, and keys to confidence. I think those, to me, all of those come from a place within. And to me, it's the same place within. When you are confident and comfortable with who you are, and you always listen with a servant's heart, these kind of challenges aren't really going to come up for you. Confidence comes from doing something many times over, right? And being prepared for your classes. But it also comes from just being comfortable with who you are in your own skin. And when you're able to do that, then you're able to open your ears and actually listen when someone is talking to you. The whole thing about not being a hunter, I really enjoyed that part of the conversation. But what I will say personally for me, this was a big challenge when I first got started, because suddenly I was going to be making money from people using products that I was recommending to them. And so there was this weird, like, is it okay to make money this way? So there was growth that I needed to do personally in saying and creating posture for myself in my business around, this is a business. It's like having my own store, except that I get to work from home in my pajamas if I want to, and go have a lot of fun with friends and new friends, friends I haven't met yet. So that's just something I wanted to share on those first couple of chapters, that when we come to it with a servant's heart and not focused on the outcome except to be of service and to help people, I really think that we can get past a lot of those limitations. So.
Yeah, so I don't know if you saw, Raquel posted something interesting, and we talked a little bit. I was with Raquel and a couple of her download on Friday night, and she said, I need to revisit these chapters. I often sent out messages and don't get any responses. And I honestly believe that, and I'm going to say 2 things here. So first and foremost, this is all about the connection that you make with the people in your downline. I love the fact that we have technology and we can send things out easily, but truthfully, if you have connection, people are going to stop opening your messages, right? So I think you have to create that inner connection with them in order to get them to open it. The second thing, which is really interesting, one of my lines I've been working with, because they found that the game plan overall stopped their growth. And because they were newer leaders, what they found is that they became more of those hunters because they thought they took the game plan face to face and did everything that was in it, as opposed to picking out the things that work for you and using them to your advantage and make things your own. They tried to be Sarah, and Sarah can only be Sarah, right? She's a Casey. I always consider her like my sister Katie. You expect that out of Casey's personality. You know her, you love her for her personality. But if you try to make your personality something it's not, it might be real and you don't feel real in your skin. So using the things in the game plan that work, but making them your own, making them feel right for you, I think, a piece of this. Or you can feel like a hunter. And I don't know. Anybody else feel the same way?
Would you talk for a moment? Yes, I do feel the same way. Would you talk for a moment when you say create connections? Would you talk just about that for a moment? What does that feel like and look like to you? Not everyone understands or has confidence about doing that.
Yeah, so I think that it's really important. So for me, I host a 101, okay, or I go to a 101. I think that it's very easy to set people up, but I think that you need to find people in the room that you can create a connection with. I think that when you find someone that asks a lot of questions or very engaged, that you need to make sure that someone in that room, be it you or the host or someone else, takes the time to connect with that person. If I don't take the time to connect, so now, all right, so I was in Florida last weekend, and I have a downline, not an active business builder, but she loves to share. So it's a little unusual situation because she hosted me in her home, but basically the hostess of the event. She hosted me, but I presented, and it's my job to follow up. She doesn't do that. So I needed to sat down and set those people up with accounts, that I created some kind of a bond with them, that we talked about a few things, that they felt comfortable. We talked a little bit about I talked about how I wanted to follow up with them. I took the time to do the Eric Worre. I set the next step with them. I came home. I contacted my hostess. I told her how much I appreciated it. I did bring her brought her thank you notes. And I also took the time to write the people that set up accounts and give them a welcome. So I welcomed them with an actual handwritten note up, and it just says, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Know that, I put them on the 21-day autoresponder that we do, and that I want to set up a Zoom board. I won't be able to meet with them. So I reinforce that, and I reinforce that with my hostess. So creating that connection. So it's not just like I'm dropping stuff on them always. And I always ask when I contact somebody, how are you? Hope you're well. Don't know if you remember. I try to create conversation in an email. I go into it, but I ask them how they're doing. I try to remember something about them. Or if I met at an event, I might say, like, SCW is coming up. This is an event I went to last year, and something I said, oh, are you going back to SCW this year? I know this is the time of year. Again, just something conversational, so that it's not professional more than just professional. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So finding things that you have in common, interests, it can be around health and wellness as well.
Absolutely.
But and allowing that relationship to continue to grow. So certainly with our friends, we want it not to feel like every conversation you ever have with them is about Young Living, or believe me, they're not going to be your friends for much longer. But also the same for people that we meet for the first time through Young Living. We do want to build more of a social relationship with them, so that they know that they're more than just a dollar sign to you. So that's what
That's right.
I think is so important about that, creating connections. Yeah.
And I think that, in something in a case like reaching out to someone, again, it's not just this is what we have, I try to make it sound more like, everyone this time of year, their windows, the kids are going back to school, Thanksgiving's coming up, everybody seems sick. I don't know about you, but man, every year Thanksgiving, everybody had a cold, and man, I just don't want that this year. So I'm reaching out to let you know that now's a great time. So it's not like, hey, buy this. It's why, and we have family, and how about you? Do you have that same thing going on? So I take the time to make it more personal, so that it's kind of like contacting them, as opposed to, again, someone who wants to sell them things. I think that's really key when you're working with people.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Hey, Melissa.
That little extra.
Did you have some things you'd like to add from either that conversation or from the chapters this week?
I think you guys are covering it all. The whole servants, being just serving people and creating relationships. As a yellow, like, I never even saw people as dollar signs. I'm just always surprised I magically get a check. So, it's really, I don't have to switch that perception. I'm just like, just for things. I'm always just trying to help people. And so I just love the way that you're articulating it. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, and I think that that's an interesting conversation when you talk about personalities, because I think that green personality tends to be more, these are the facts kind of think that sometimes they struggle more with that interpersonal type of stuff. And I think that the red personality just wants to get to the point, right? So I think that some person work with that more, where somebody like, I'm a yellow again, uber yellow, I have to work more with the close, right? Because that's not where I'm strong. But that close has to be me. I have to be confident in my close, and it has to come from my heart. So it might not be as strong a close as Sarah's, but make the close, and I have to practice it. It's not something that you can just stand up and do. You got to practice it in the mirror. I drive in my car, I go into an event and I my clothes, right?
I agree.
Because I needed to come from a confident place, not a pushy place. And I need to have people know that it comes from, right, that I don't want this because I want their money. I want this because I truly believe that this product is going to make a difference in their life. And I think that makes up for I'm not a good closer.
I agree. I'm in a very similar situation, and I saw Raquel chatted, I need to be more yellow. And I'm like, I could easily say I need to be more green. I think we all just really need to honor our strengths and work from there and not try to be anybody else, or, because that is what's most important. And I know that's what I focused on on Friday, as far as being authentic, as far as your social media and presence. And if you're blogging or staying, that authenticity is going to be what the relationship is built on. So don't try to be something.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with being in red. There's nothing wrong with being in red. And Raquel's in my line, so she's seen Casey. I mean, Casey will jump right up and say, you know what? I'm a red. I'm going to tell you, right? You need this. But know that you have to make that decision, right? So you have to make it work from you. You have to find a way to communicate to all that it's not about you're pushing it on them, but this is just what you would do, and that they have to make their own decision. And again, practice, talk about it, all those. And again, my team is reading this one, Full Spectrum Freedom, this month. We read this one before. This is a great way to learn about the colors and how your color is and how you can communicate with other colors to make it better. So I think that this kind of falls right in line with what we're talking about here. They're just great books, right?
Absolutely.
So agree.
Yeah. And always know that not everybody's going to like your style. It's just the way it goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. And I think confidence is really big. I know we talked about this on the call, no, so now what? But you have to have the confidence to know that it's okay not to know. I think that so many people, I have people on my team that say to me, but I introduce this to people and I know in my heart that they don't have confidence to deal with the fact that they might not know the answer to something. It's okay not to know. Knows everything. What you need to know is how to get them the answers that they need. That's the most important thing, because you can't know everything. If you know everything, people are going to expect you to know everything, and you're going to create a monster, right? What a great question. Does anybody here know that answer? You know what? Let me get back to you. I've got my big old book, and I've got a couple of things. Let's find out about it, and I'll get it back to you. Or you could have somebody, I love the cat, somebody, on the internet or whatever it happens to be. But if you know everything, as a business builder, you don't want to know everything sitting in the audience, because then someone says, I can't do it. And number two, you create that monster. Everybody's going to come to you for every question. Wow, she agrees. Wow.
And I'll just add a couple things on that, Susan. Right? I mean, a challenge that comes out of that I will say for greens, because we tend to think of ourselves as experts. We do a lot of research, right? So a challenge that comes out of it is that if you try to fake it, that energy comes through. People know that you're not being completely honest with them. If you're kind of like blah, 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 blahing through an answer, right? People get that energy, and they're going to be like, I don't really trust that person. And the other side of it is, when you do offer it up to other people, guess what? You are so empowering the people in your audience, your friends around you. You're empowering them to step up and say, gosh, I know that answer. How cool to feel like you know something that, the expert in the room maybe doesn't. It's an awesome thing to do.
Absolutely, right?
Awesome thing.
Absolutely. And again, you never want to get caught, right? Let me make that up, right? It's not worth it, right? I mean, there's too many resources out there that you can work with, right? And again, that's that part. People want to know, if they come to you and ask you a question, if you don't know the answer, that you're going to tell them you don't know the answer. You're not going to make it up, right? Absolutely.
Although I have been known to say, even when I do know the answer, I have been known to say, that's a great question. Let's look it up together. Because then you're equipping people to fish.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We want them to fish. We want them to fish. We don't want to be providing dinner every night.
Right.
You will have into this, and Tricia, you've been in here a long time too. I think Melissa, not quite as many years as maybe Tricia and I, but you did that. You fished for everybody, right? You these questions about how to cure things and heal things, and you're like, oh yeah, let's look that up, right? You had endless emails every single day from people how to cure things.
It was a terrible responsibility. It weighed on my heart. What if I made a mistake? What a horrible
thing, right?
I'm not a doctor. It was a huge responsibility.
Yep. So I think this actually makes it easier, right? Giving them the resources they need, teaching them how to fish. You're not abandoning them. You'll help them in any way you can, helping them find the resources that they need. People, and that connection, right? There's a way again to make that great connection, right? You're helping them. This is a chance to have a conversation and help people.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
So is anyone else tuned into the Wild Success Summit that started today?
I just saw that it started today. I caught your digestion 30-day.
Oh yes, that's the other one too.
I was very excited about that. I'm like, oh, and the water today. I was more excited about the digestion 30-day.
Yeah, so we're doing a 30-day gut and fitness challenge through some of the gals that Africa with. It's open to anybody. It's called the 30-day gut and fitness challenge. And so we're working with Comfort Tone, ICP, and B. And we're just going to talk about ways that you can work with your digestion and help it. I'm working with the supplements and the foods, and Lindsay's working with the fitness, and then Melissa is working on the quirky stuff that goes with it. We're going to do recipes and show you stuff. And then, Barney Summit started today, which is great. I'm on day 8.
We'll keep an eye.
Nice.
Yep, that's the PowerPoint that I sent all you ladies is the one about leadership is the one that I actually.
Oh, nice.
That's my Wild Summit one.
Wonderful. And
That's
Susan,
awesome.
Are you comfortable with me sharing the link on the 30-day gut and fitness challenge in the Crossline Game Plan?
It's up there. It's for anybody.
Awesome.
It's for anybody. Absolutely.
Posted along with the video.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. So we did some Facebook Lives today introducing ours. You can come in a couple days late. It's not any big deal. And we're going to use part of my 12-week lifestyle challenge. We're going to use the tracker from that. I modify it so people are going to track their foods if they want to. And we'll just talk about a lot of the different things. It's just fun. It's no pressure.
Nice.
Awesome.
Who did watch today, Tricia? Did you participate in the summit?
I listened to some of the summit. Yes, I did. To be honest, it's so much content that I didn't really get through all of it. But, some very cool presentations. Lindsay Elmore was one of the presenters today, and one of my upline diamonds, Jeffrey Lewis. So it was cool. Very good.
Oh, Jeffrey's your upline?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's
right. So he's a good friend.
Oh, he's great.
We talk to Jeffrey he's not in our upline, but he and Casey are really close.
Oh,
that's so funny.
He's a terrific leader. Love him and Gail-Ann both. They're awesome.
Gail-Ann, love Gail-Ann. So just so you guys know, Barney is coming out with something special for this summit. He's actually an app that he's going to introduce. It's amazing. And you'll be able to purchase the app. Right. Let me think of it. He and I were on a call the other day about this.
It's a monthly subscription.
The app is going to allow you, if you purchase it, expensive, to actually send individual summit recordings to somebody for 48 hours.
Wow,
so
that's
really cool. In other words, you and I meet, Melissa, I want to learn more about, maybe, I don't know, what did Lindsay talk about today? I didn't see it.
Sorry. Just too much going on in my digestion. Didn't stick. I took notes.
So let's say she was talking about digestion. You could then
oils in children. Essential oils in children.
Okay. So you could actually send that link to somebody and they have 48 hours to watch it and then the link evaporates.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And I believe he's including all 3 summits that have happened so far. So all the historical stuff is there too. past 2 years.
That's yes. So yes, because I presented in both of them.
So tons of
it's
content.
Tons of content. And again, whether it's a business builder, whether it's and anybody can buy this, right? So it gives you that opportunity. It's a great value, because if you've got somebody that wants to learn about leadership, or somebody that wants to learn about frequency, or somebody that wants to learn about oils for kids or pets or whatever, an opportunity to send that link to somebody. It's really an incredible deal.
Talk about not having to recreate the wheel. That's amazing.
What a great tool. So my cousin, that's Casey's downline.
Awesome.
That's awesome. You guys have like a power family.
Totally.
Yeah. Part of our Canadian line. We need that. You're right, Raquel. Absolutely. So that is one of the things that Barney will is he does have a deal going on. I know that, and I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I was not on the summit today. We have a big summer property that we spent most of the day kind of close up. So I wasn't around for anything. There are not enough hours in the day.
I still didn't finish the 3 things I was doing today. I usually write down 3 things to make sure. And I've done 2 out of 3. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 9 o'clock.
Time to go into Einstein time. Make some time.
That's right. I forgot about Einstein time. Thank you. I needed that reminder.
Well, Raquel, unless
do you have any questions?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Same thing. Raquel, unless you have any other questions or things you want to chat on, I think we will call it an evening. Ladies, anything you'd like to say in closing?
Happy week 3, and let's go for week 4. Woo!
No, Raquel's going to help me with I brought back beads from Uganda. I have my big fundraiser next Sunday for Guatemala. And I have stuff from all over the world. We're doing a big shopping event. My husband's cooking and people can come in and shop. But I took some of the necklaces that weren't quite so pretty. They didn't, and I've made diffuser bracelets out of them, but I don't know how to tie them off. So Raquel's going to help me.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
I
want a Guatemala trip next year.
You can, next year, come with me. We'd love it.
I just need to plan ahead.
Yeah, it'd be great. Well, you're going to be in Hawaii while I'm in Guatemala. So
Whoops. But I could plan ahead if you let me know next time, because I would love to help you. That's incredible what you do. I had no
it's
idea.
a fun trip.
It really is beautiful.
Too. It's a trip. So all right, ladies.
All right. Have a great night, everybody.
All right.
You on the game plan, Scott.